He can hear me except one guy. I guess he has to come again. Okay. So guys, I'm already taking a small short here. Just a is it's a small risk reward. Okay, it's another scalp. Maybe we get another low here. You know that we are already in a long um, from here. Okay, so actually we got a good reaction in the local low volume node. Okay, and basically we're in a buy zone. Okay, so first of all, we are going to discuss about the trade because I've been asked why. First of all, why I canceled the limit long that we had and why I shorted. Okay, so not only we canceled an idea where we were foreseeing a continuation to the upside, but also we shorted and actually the market dumped and we got the results that we wanted. Okay, so we hit the full take profit. It was a very good trade, and now we are going to break it down a little bit so we can you can understand what was the thought process, okay, behind that. Okay, so first of all, I explained you that I'm not sure if I shared this call here. So I took one short on the first drop, Friday, and basically, so this is the volume profile that for those that don't know what it is. I will not extend now too much in explaining that now, but basically we have the point of control. Okay, basically this is where people interact the most. This volume profile has been taken from the low formed during the drop to the highest. Okay, so all the session, all the profile in one and only session. Okay, so as you can see, when the price comes into this level, you start seeing price compression, and this is where we get pretty much the big moves. Okay, so what happened is that we get one drop again. So you can see that we have, in general, after the drop, we had very big drops, very big pumps, and then all the time the same thing happens. I do not like this price action, but never mind. We survived this kind of a range now. Um, and pretty much we can nail the moves. Okay, so I was short from here, to be honest, because we had a hard drop. Okay, and we lost volume, and after we started having a low volume consolidation around the point of control, this means acceleration to the downside. Okay, and this was the trade I gave you. Okay, so this is the chart with the low with the volume profile, and this is a cleaner chart. Okay, to make it more simple, after when you have big moves, okay, with lots of volume, basically the market tends to chill, okay, and starts ranging. Okay, this is where everybody gets chopped, and then probably it continues. Okay, so what happens here and why did I cancel the trade? This is very important to understand, because if you want to learn how to trade, you have to be able to not only to change your bias, but ride the wave. Okay, so we have a low volume range. Okay, this thing here has to be reclaimed in order to have um, at least here and here we know that we need a reclaim of the range in order to have a bullish structure. So what changed here? uh, we had during the Asia session, we had some kind of pumps here. Okay, so it was a good, we started seeing volume to the upside. Okay, after they took the liquidity here. So first of all, just to explain you, when we sweep some, not the major lows but some important lows. Okay, and what creates the bounce basically is the fact that we have limit orders. Okay, so buying orders around these levels, and this is where lots of people are going to take profits um, on their shorts. Okay, so you can understand what makes the market move. So what happened here is that we have shorts being closed, and some limit orders being hit. Okay, so what made me change my mind? First of all, it's Monday. Okay, so probably when we create lows during the weekend or during the first session of Asia, normally the price tends to reverse during Monday, so we had a high probability short here, first of all. Second of all, is that when we created the bounce here, okay, what bothered me is that we didn't come to create a higher low, okay? What happened is that we create one low. As you can see, we have a good rejection around the range, okay? That means that we had people that actually had limit orders to short the market around here. And what happens is that, yes, we have a slow grind, and then we started losing volume. We lose volume, and then we started consolidating to the downside. This was for me the goal to go short. Okay, I didn't decide to go short because I canceled the long. The problem why I canceled the long is because we didn't create a higher low. Okay, normally we need an inversion inside the gap, and then another candle with some volume in order to have a first confirmation. Secondly, is my problem was that once you will reclaim, okay, the range, it has to be reclaimed with some strong candles here, okay? So if you don't reclaim ranges, previous Monday highs, previous week highs, and stuff like that with strong candles, this is not a reclaim basically, okay? So we didn't reclaim the range in order to create a slow consolidation and get an acceleration to the upside. On the other hand, we lost volume and started grinding to the downside. If we go on the lower time frames, on the 1 minute, you can see that on the New York opening, they created a, let's say, uh, a convincing pump, okay? And this is exactly trap longs. People longed here, said, okay, we dumped a little bit, now it's going, and then they dumped the price again. Okay, so we were already in the short. The stop losses were placed above this high here, okay, and the trade played out, and we had the results coming in pretty much fast. Okay, it was in a matter of minutes, so this was a perfect trade. So I changed my bias because we didn't create a legit higher low. First of all, we didn't reclaim the range. We lost volume, started grinding to the downside just before the New York opening, and that's why I decided to short. And I was sure we were going into my point of interest, where is the low volume node, located exactly here. And this is where you start seeing some kind of, uh, protection, okay? That means that we have buyers that might protect that low. So now let me be clear about what's happening here. Okay, we are inside in the highest time frames. We're inside a buy zone. Okay, this is where we expected the price to come into the weekly order blocks in order to have a continuation, at least 98K. We had many attempts that we failed. Okay, so basically we had to reclaim 92, 93K. Okay, so 93K is just here. Every time it rejects, okay, consolidates a little bit, and then loses the level. Okay, this is where you want a real flip in order to have a good structure to continue. Okay, 99K, 98K. Okay, so why this level? So basically, if I take a volume profile, where is it, from here to here, if it wants to, okay, let me try on that chart. Oops. Okay. So basically what happens is low volume nodes, okay, are points of interest where I basically expect a deviation of the price, okay, and I see rejection around the value area low on the highest time frame, or maybe a reclaim, and then the box around the box we might see a rejection. If not, 107, 108 point of control of the highest time frame from the swing low to the swing high until here. This is where I want to see a reaction, but I will try to get my first swing short around these levels with a little bit higher stop losses, low volume, and once we get a confirmation with a nice drop on the next pullback, I'm going to add to the trade. But we need to get to that level in order to trigger the next short. Okay, low volume nodes basically is where we have the least trades executed inside the session. Inside the session is the volume profile here. Okay, um, this is very important to understand, but only if you are a scalper. I'm using it in many sessions, and I basically the fixed volume profile from the previous session, and I use it as a confluence for my live session, basically. Okay, so what happens now is, of course, we had a big rejection from 126K, and now we started downtrend. Basically, people are crying over that, but as I was explaining in my previous live, is like if you're an investor, okay, you are not interested in buying here. So what happens and why does the price why is the price dumping like that? It's because basically you have perps driven pumps, okay, perpetuals, but spot is not stepping in to sustain the structure of the price. So normally you should expect more of this kind of price action where you have to get out of the longs pretty much fast or go break even pretty much fast and privilege shorts. Okay, because on the highest time frames, don't forget that we pumped for 3 years. Okay, we arrived at the premium level. Okay, this is premium, this is not discount, and this is normal not to have not having a um, spot buying stepping in order to have a continuation. I do believe we might print new all-time highs from 70K to 68K. Okay, the way this sheet is trading here, I think we can get to it pretty much easily, time wise. But since then, until then, we are going to play the levels like here and like the previous one that we got. So basically, this was the breakdown on Bitcoin. Okay, this was pretty much easy to get. Okay, it's just I saw a lot of people trying to long every dip. It doesn't make sense. You have to get out of your mind that okay, if it goes down, that means it's going to get a pullback or something. Okay, it's the same as you thinking that because it went up here, that means that the price is going to pull back. Okay, so this is what we don't have now. Is like you have pumps, you have a consolidation basically, and then they keep squeezing everybody. Okay, this is not that you're not in the same environment anymore, so you have to adapt to the market. Okay, the market now is selling. Okay, selling is privileged here, so you size up less on your longs and you can size up more on your shorts. Okay, and until we go into a discount zone. So why here? Because we have a weekly, one of the last weekly fair value gaps. Okay, as you can see, we have an immense trend line here that hasn't been tested in months. Okay, so it's waiting. And once we get around these levels into the previous range, we might get a big deviation. Okay, so we might see another upside maybe in the middle of 2026. Okay, you do not have to be concerned about that because I'm a scalper and I just use the lowest time frames to trade, so this is not a concern. I'm just saying that right now the environment you are trading in is a selling environment. Okay, put that in your mind. Next thing that is very important, uh, the targets. Always put the targets where you think you would, like, let's say you have a bearish bias and you want to short Bitcoin, okay, like here. Why I didn't go for lower? Like, even if I expect the price to go to 79, this is a 7900 is a mark level I have for a long as well, okay? Why not there? Because every time you have to place your targets. Let's say I'm shorting, I will place my targets into short POIs, long POIs, for example. Okay, so I decided to close the trade where I will pretty much long. Okay, so this is very important because you can round trip all your trades like that. Okay, so if you play level by level, always um, place uh, your targets into the other side POIs. So now what do you need? In order to so we took a trade here, okay, and I told you that I have a small, uh, basically, where is the chart? I lost the chart. Wait, oh, because I took a small short. Let me find it. Uh, it was on Binance Perpetual. Binance Perpetual. Here you go. So I'm hedge shorting inside the long, okay? So this is a scalp. Uh, so now this is very important. What I'm going to explain you now. This is the most important thing that you need to note here, okay? Regarding Bitcoin. So here is it. This is your yearly low, okay? This is the 2025 low that is supposed to be protected for the time being. Looking at the structure, I'm not against I'm not against a potential manipulation inside that, just above the yearly low. Okay, so this target here is like I'm interested into that exact level. Okay, this is where I want to get a potential swing long inside the 98k, maybe 104. Okay, so normally here, to have a long trigger, let's say we never got the long here. Okay, so let's go on Bybit so you can understand better. So now we have a long. Okay, we are inside a buying zone. We have a couple of flat candles. We have a fair value gap. We have a local low volume node. Okay, this is where we should be seeing reversals. Basically, the problem is that we have very big selling pressures. Okay, that's why I'm triggering hedge shorts in order to realize as much PNL as possible into a downtrend. Okay, so this is called a This is a continuation short. I would like to get stopped on that, honestly, and get inside the and get the long for the time being. But as you can see, the structure looks awful. Here, what happens if we lose that level? In my opinion, so maybe we get a reversal here. If we see a front run of these lows, this would be a confirmation because Bitcoin market makers front run very often major levels. Okay, this is a major level here. If you see them front running it, you have to ape in a long again. Okay, if we start losing these levels, in my opinion, we have more probabilities into going to 79 and $100. Okay, for the swing long. This is the first attempt, let's say. Um, it's only Monday, so we have to see what happens. But probably in the middle of this week, we might get a reversal to the upside. Okay, this is the plan for now. But I already know that I might get another chance to long here, and if not, based on a front run, and if not, if they break this level, it's going to stop here, in my opinion, and they are not going to sweep the yearly low. Okay, this is the plan for now. Now, If you don't take the long, what you need to do is like you need to reclaim that range, start consolidating to the upside, and basically once, like let's say you long here, okay, let's say you don't take any action here, doesn't matter, and you start longing here, so your long looks like that. You have a stop loss like that, let's say, after creating one low, one manipulation or whatever, and you target 98k. Okay, this is a short POI, so even if we foresee the price going to 101, 102, it's totally possible. You want to get your target inside the 98 where you want to short, basically. Okay, if you flip that level, okay, this is a very important level, the line here, 93k almost, you can add to your trade. Okay, you never DCA. Okay, this is a rule I have: never DCA into a trade, never into a losing trade. You only add to winning trades. Okay, so if the price goes against me, I'm not going to DCA in order to lower my entry. It doesn't make sense. Either you catch the bottom or a reversal zone on in any time frame, or you're just wrong. Okay, that's it. There is no other option. Okay, so if you flip the black line, this is a long trigger in my opinion, and not the yearly open. Okay, the yearly open is not a POI anymore. It has been fucked all over again. They just don't want to reclaim it. This is not the level you should expect for reclaim, but the black line here. Okay, so small short inside the long. Okay, it's already printing since we have it's still Monday and we have a selling pressure. We have yeah, low consolidation here. It could print for us. Okay, so this is the plan for now. You don't, if you don't care about trading, I will anyways share the setup. But this is the plan on Bitcoin. Okay, don't ape like a degen into longs, since we are in a selling environment. Okay, this is the most important that we need to. We replace SL for the current long. Basically, the stop loss will be under that low. It's not supposed to be taken because basically we have one low, higher low, higher low, higher high. Many people maybe think that this is the higher low, but we might get a higher low here. Okay, so that's it. Now let's go check ETH. Okay. Yeah, quick update on that one. I've been asked about this one. I said that it is going to move without Bitcoin. This is exactly what happened. Made a nice move. Okay, I took most profits into that trade. Now we have again a small consolidation here. So either it breaks completely, either we have another acceleration. Okay, but we really need the price to continue like that, create some higher highs, higher lows, and then you are gonna see an acceleration. Okay, if you want to close that trade, you can. It's not that important. It's just a shitcoin. What other setups did I give you? Because wait, I don't remember. Let me. So we have H. I didn't give many trades here. Yeah, Farcoin stopped. Okay, because Bitcoin dumped at this time. Yeah, not many. Anyways, you don't need many setups. Doesn't make sense. Okay, so there you go. Shitcoin. Uh, Ethereum looks mega nasty here. Okay, so I will make it very simple. Okay, the only way you should trade Ethereum is like 786 Fibonacci retracement, AMDs. Okay, AMDs everywhere on um, on Ethereum. Okay, for those that don't know, this is one of my top three confluences, or one of the top three things I'm looking at on on Ethereum is like accumulation, manipulation, distribution, accumulation, manipulation, distribution on the two sides. So both sides work very well, and on the lower time frames. Now, problem is that Ethereum, basically this bull run, if you can call it a bull run, just swept the previous bull run high and just rejected. Okay, so absolutely shit. Now we have the highest time frame 786 that coincides with the front run of that low here. Okay, so you have two options: either the market nukes again, it should be 2152 around these levels. This will be a swing. Like, I think it's worth holding a trade here, even if it's not my style at all. Take profits around the white line and the blue line would make sense to me. And on lower time frames, uh, I don't think this box is going to hold, but we need to see what happens. But the way it's trading, I think we're going to these levels here. You might see some kind of reactions around these levels because we have some liquidity, we have some higher time frame fair value gaps, and then it's gonna do something like that, and maybe we get a true reaction around these levels here. Okay, so don't play too much with Ethereum. Okay, this is a fucked up asset right now. About Solana, also nothing much. Okay, I do have a limit order at 114 here. So basically, we are trading inside the channel. Okay, so big rejection, and now it's going for the OBs around this level here. Okay, okay, very nice level. Stop loss, yeah, 104.62. I think that the price, if the price doesn't stop around this line here, it's going to break. Okay, so I'm betting that the price will stop around the blue line. So this low will hold pretty much. I hope so. And then we get a small move to 115, maybe 72, but I will not bet too much on Solana right now. So that's it on the big ones. So let's see what happens with our trades. Okay, so I told you that we are currently taking a small hedge short. Okay, I announced it on the beginning of the live. It's already printing. Yeah, the structure looks still very bad. Then, so usually they push the price down, okay, in order to buy on discount and then get another scam pump again. So we'll see. But the way I see these things, my God, I don't even know how they are going to reclaim them. It looks like shit, guys. Okay, so at least we have the capacity to, short. So stop longing every long that are being shared. It's not the time. Okay, shorts are to be privileged right now. Okay. Uh, we hit the low volume node. If it wants to break, that means that we go lower. So great week ahead. We have some high volatility news and stuff. I have to share them in my channel soon so we can check them together. And now if you guys want to see any altcoins or anything, any requests that you may have, you can ask me. This is my plan for now. I don't have anything else to update about the market. If you want, we can discuss about some altcoins if we get anything. And for example, I shorted Pengu. It was an easy one. Beat SDT, but you understand I cannot share that many calls here. And I got a long also, but the target was here, so a nice short here. Now it's swapping, so I'm not touching this anymore. Aster, let's go again with shitcoin. Everybody's asking me about Aster. I don't know why you guys go and try to find perspective. Oh my days, into CZ's coins, bro. Like they're shit. I said that we had a short POI like a week ago. Low volume, low consolidation, acceleration to the downside. Let's check spot chart. I need the one with the most data. Uh, where can we find the one with the more data? Yeah. Oh, okay. A long way to go, brother. Nah, bro. It's easy. You don't trust this guy. Don't trust. This motherfucker ruined the bull market. So Aster is going to continue dumping. It's a shitcoin. It has absolutely no structure. He posted once that yes, I bought blah blah blah, pumped the price, dumped immediately. So nothing interesting into that. Um, so what happens is that we're taking a major low here. Probably we're not getting any bounce from there, or it will be just a fake bounce. Once we arrive around these levels, we might look for longs. But it's just a shit coin anyways, so nothing much to update on that. Damn. Like if we caught this will be my trigger to short it. A low volume diagonal consolidation to the downside, and boom. Okay, it followed Bitcoin also, so made absolute sense to short this one as well. I had high hopes in the beginning because it was really looking good, and I thought they were going to build actually something, and they did nothing at all. So shitcoin blacklisted. BCH. BCH is interesting because we had a higher time frame structure that was looking very interesting actually. And now we lost it. Hello. Same shit, different day. Yeah. It was looking decent here. We had a price compression, boom, breakout. And then we had many longing. I saw a lot of people being interested in BCH. And of course, I didn't touch it because it's just a shitcoin again and dumped on everyone. So basically, they're faking a breakout into trend lines. I hate trend lines. It's just, as I said, it's void liquidity. It's like imaginary liquidity for retail. So don't rely on these things. Normally, if you don't get any reaction from here, it's cooked basically. Okay, so BCH. I think it's worth having spot because I see, it's inevitable. At some point, it's going to visit $1,000 again. But the problem is, even if you buy spot, what kind of money are you going to make on this coin, and how much time you are going to wait? So the time and the money made on an asset like BCH is not worth it, basically. Because look, from 2022, 2023, how slow it is. You see? Only low volume consolidation, so you never know what to expect. So this coin should be blacklisted. You should never touch this coin. It doesn't matter if one day it pumps like that, you will never catch it. You will never know. So you'd rather buy spot on discount and just let it. But I think that it's not worth the money you're gonna make, and the time that's gonna take to make money is not worth it basically. So Pippin, yeah, I tried a short on Pippin. I got stopped on this one. I deserve to get stopped because I should never had touched this coin. So basically we had a rejection. We started consolidating like that, and basically they just kept buying. So it's keep pumping here. This one at any moment can, like, if you ask me, the structure looks good, uh, and I think it's going for the parabola. Like it's going to nuke very soon. Basically, it's going to nuke. Maybe 55 cents or something like that. Let's check. So this is very subjective. I use it like almost never, but 618 gives us 40. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, but look for the fib extensions, maybe one or two 618. Around 55 cents, we might get something, okay? But the way I see that thing here, you better long it rather than shorting it. It might be going for an acceleration phase here, but of course I want you to have very tight stop losses, okay? Because we are inside the parabola, so it has to break at some point, okay? Stop loss like this, and here your target. Now it's already pumping, I guess, but it's easy because they just send it up, okay? And then at some point it will be going on exhaustion. So shitcoin. Absolute shit. You know what's funny? Because I'm a Bybit user, I have been observing what they do, guys. They every day they announce so many delistings. It's crazy. Every day they delist their coins and stuff like that. They use it to as exit liquidity because it's a big exchange, and then so yeah, why not long it? I mean, I see no reason to short it. We are coming to the end of the parabola. I mean, for those that hope bought spot here, congrats. I don't know what to say. There are so many you don't even know which one to buy, so it's totally random. So yeah, I mean, don't take the trade, but I can see them pumping the price. But the shit coins just at some point they pump and then they dump again, and then when you have a short like a structure that gives you a short opportunity, they just send it up again, absorbing all shorts. Like it makes no sense, to touch these things. But I think we are coming at the end. So yeah, you can move. I don't know. Either you play the full setup. I like to play full setups, to be honest. I don't know if you have seen when you go, give us some outs that you value and trade altcoins. Of course, you know already because we had a talk about that. One of them is Sui. Okay. If you remember, we talked about this level here. So it's here. Sui is one. XLM is another one that I'm using that in some occasions using a trading model, but since it lost a lot of volume here, I'm not interested in it anymore. So this one, and looking at the market in general, I was looking at Bonk was nice to trade because it had a lot of volume inside it. Fartcoin was nice. Sui, XRP, we had volume since we had a big run. What else? What else? What else? Tao was good, and one more. One more, I don't remember. But basically, the more I'm getting experience into my scalping abilities, I'm mostly in Ethereum and Bitcoin, guys, because we have actual market makers, and when you have lots of billions interacting into the open interest basket, you know that they cannot scam you that easily. Okay, what's the problem with the altcoins, and especially with let's say Aster or whatever, Pengu and stuff like that. The problem is not your skills. Okay, so never let this kind of altcoins judge your skills. Okay, the problem is that when you have low volume altcoins, okay, this is something new because in the trading space you never had things like altcoins, meme coins. This is pure bullshit. Always have to think that there is a group of people or someone that owns a big portion of the supply basically, okay, and he has total control over what you want to, see as a trading opportunity, okay. So you might have, reasons to execute a trade inside a chart of a meme coin, and it actually doesn't play out because at any moment the person that controls the supply is going to fuck you up. Like the big mystery on Bitcoin. Big mystery on Bitcoin is that we have a wallet, that owns 100 million Bitcoins. Okay, so people say that we have people saying that um, yes, someone created it. So no one knows. I think it's just countries. Maybe it's the USA that created Bitcoin, but someone owns 100 million Bitcoin has never been touched, right? Okay, I see what you're asking me. You're looking for a model, right? So we are into a long POI because we swept that low. Oh my days. It's not looking very good. So basically, yes, you have an entry. Actually, don't lose time. If the model plays out, it plays out. This is the model I'm teaching to people that want, basically, that want to, start trading. The simple way is like a model here. Okay, so we have actually nice one. You have your low, another low, market structure shift, if I'm not wrong, and then you target maybe here. No, not the size are already taken. Maybe the fair value gap here. So let's see. This will have been your entry. Okay, so now the risk to reward is not the best. Let's check the indicators. Maybe here it's gonna give it. Oh, gave it here. Let's see on the 3 minutes. So you have a one. Yes, why not? But your entry was here basically under these lows here. Very nice. I see you studied the model, right? Very nice, very nice. Nice one, nice one. One low, another low, market structure shift, pullback inside a fair value gap or an order block. And this is your confirmation to enter. So in theory, I'm not going to execute that trade because if you don't get your entry, basically your risk to reward is not the best. I think they might chase that low one more time. Happens very often when we sweep major lows. Normally they come for another sweep, but you can get a small, I don't know if you executed the trade, if you took the trade. Nice. That was a clean one. Should give. Okay. Just give me, yeah, I prefer to get stopped on that trade rather than, you see, local, you see how much important it is to mark your levels before executing trades. Look that we have, okay, we have a fair value gap on the 1 minute, but at the same time, it coincides with the local low volume node. It's not the trigger, but this is where you should be interested in buying. Same thing on the upside for shorting. Okay, lads. Donk is still weak, but on the highest time frames, okay, we had a higher time frame butterfly here, which was interesting. On the highest time frames, I do see a short trigger basically. I do see an acceleration to the downside very soon, unless they go with a god candle or something. But The market looks cooked. But if you can get away with a small, okay, nice, good eye, nice. Pippin is doing nothing. It's a shitcoin. Yeah, it should accelerate here and then boom. But I think they're gonna chase more lows and stuff and then send. It's totally random. That's why I'm saying you have zero control over that chart. Okay, so basically give where is it? Okay, so you are in a long right now. The entry was here. Okay, so let's see if we create a kind of a range around these levels. Let the other play fully, okay? The other setup has to be played fully. Even if we are in a buy zone, so if we can get the next hour close a bullish one, so if the candles start looking a little bit like that, create some gaps, having some nice structure, but not something like that, boom, and then continue and lose volume. This is cooked. But we are in a buy zone, okay? Maybe we create the true higher low around these levels. But if you remember, guys, when we had the big drop with the first tariff news and stuff like that, you know, this was prepared days before, weeks ago, weeks before. They already knew all that shit. So we had a small consolidation to the upside, a kind of a channel, and then they dumped the price again. Easy. So this this becomes a short POI now. If it's not reclaimed, it becomes a short POI. But we are in a potential, a higher low here. So this becomes a low probability trade. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to close it. I'm going to close the trade. I made money today on the short. I don't need any other short. I decided to buy at this level. I'm going to buy at this level. And that's it. Okay, guys. Bitcoin gives you a model at the 3 minute. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Very nice. Look, for now, the model looks very nice. It's good that you study the chart. It's very good. Okay. If you want, guys, next live, I will explain you how this model works. Is like perfect, perfect. Is magnificent. If you know how to trade with that thing and you master it, as I was explaining to our friend here, we had a live together. I explained him everything. If you, I backtested it like 500 times before using it with real money. But if you don't want to like stress yourself in reading the CVDs and open interest and taking too much time, there is uh, a certain model that you can use. You can use it in bearish scenarios and bullish scenarios, and you can use it on the lowest time frames. I use it on the 1 minute, 3 minute, and it's very, very profitable actually. It works very well on altcoins from Ethereum to lower. This is not what I use on Bitcoin, but sometimes you have it actually. Okay, so I can explain it to you like next time. So let me just update something important here because I have been sharing this. Okay. Uh, Also gives the model entry. No, 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 no. Yes. Would be nice to learn this model. Yes. Okay, I will give you some time now. I will explain pretty much quick because it's an easy model, but you need to backtest it. Okay. So first of all, let me send you some images because I have been, I did I deleted my whole computer. I brought everything back. So wait, shit. What is it? Ah, here you go. So I will send you some backtesting images so you can understand a little bit how it looks. You can compare it between the chart and between what I'm going to draw to you here, okay? So I'm okay. So this is pretty much a backtesting. So as you can see, one ID USDT was in the 3 minutes, and I use it a lot on SUI, okay? As you can see, we had two trading opportunities inside that were very close the one to another. Snipe entry, full take profit. I will explain you. Okay. I know there's no screen because I'm on the chat. I sent you an image, basically. You can call it if you want the standard confirmation, but basically this model like taught me how like put me in my first steps of scalping, because before I was a swing trader, I was having different systems. I was using mostly demand zones, supply zones, the Fibonacci extensions, retracements, and then I studied harmonics, and I was executing pretty much my trades into this system. And now I have changed it, and I'm an intraday trader and a scalper. Okay, so when I came from intraday, so now I'm intraday trader and scalper. Okay, I do micro scalps and stuff like that, things that I cannot share in the channel. It's very difficult to catch these things because between the information and the price movements, a lot of things can happen. Okay, so basically, let me draw the model here. I will do it as easy as possible. Let me go on a normal chart, not a perpetual, because I need to keep it pretty much clean. Let's go on this one, take out everything. Okay. So just so you know, I'm not using it on Bitcoin, okay? I'm using it on strong altcoins when they have high volume, and sometimes on Bitcoin when I see it, okay? But this is not what I'm looking for on Bitcoin when I decide to trade it. For example, the trade that we took today has nothing to do with the model, okay? Because you can have the bearish one and the bullish one. So do we do scalp streams sometimes? Huh? Look, I'm already doing some scalp streams in other servers. It takes energy and time. So, yes, I can do one when I have time. But, we have to stay like I'm live, and I'm live for like 2 hours, because the setup doesn't come immediately. You have to wait a little bit. Usually, I get out with a trade that gives me profits. Like most of the times when we do these kind of things, we get out with some setups that actually print, but yeah, if I find time, I'm gonna do it. So basically, I will show you. We have a model actually that printed on the daily, okay? But this is consider it using it on the 1 minute, 3 minute, 15 minute, okay? So first of all, we do agree that you have to identify the trend, right? Let's say the trend now it's on medium time frames and on higher time frames is bullish, okay? Let's say you're going to the upside now. You create your higher highs, higher lows, blah, blah, blah. And at some point, you are going to create a head, some kind of, a range or something. Okay, so you have, let's say, you know, you have a bullish price actions, you have the price stagnating a little bit, and then it pullbacks, and then you have your entry. So this happens dozens of times into the 1 minute time frame, okay? So don't worry. Then we have a lower time frame pullback inside a higher time frame um, uptrend. Okay, let's start with that. Let me fix it a little bit to make it a little bit easier to understand. I fucked up, wait. Okay, imagine now, so go back on the chat and look at the pictures. Okay, so now I want you to look at the picture, especially the one on ID USDT, because it's very illustrative and helps you understand what you're seeing on the chart. Okay, so here, the only thing you need to know, like you have to follow four rules here. Okay, is like, okay, you already know what's the trend. This is not a rule. You should be able to identify that we are in a bullish trend and stuff like that. Okay, so the model looks like that. Okay, so if you don't want to read, as I said, you don't want to go inside, footprints and shit like that, you can trade with this. You can, I have back tested it many times. 6 to 7 out of 10 trades hit full take profit. But if you have very realistic targets, okay, so the only thing you need to see is like you have your head, so a range, you have a lower time frame pullback inside. So the first rule is, let me write it so you can download the image and do whatever you want with that. One, wait for the price to reach a POI, point of interest. What is a point of interest? Point of interest can be let's see. Point of interest can be a weekly order block. Let's talk about hard time frames, but a weekly order block or 15-minute order block is the same basically, okay? You just need to understand that you are in a buying environment and not in a selling environment. Selling environment, buying environment, right? This is the higher time frames, but try to see that as a 1 minute chart, okay? So what you want to see, like, first of all, is the price to come into a POI. So here we have identified a bullish uptrend. Okay, we create one head. So this type of range pretty much. Okay, it's not just only high. We create a range, and you can see it. The price will come at some point. It will create one low, another low. Okay, one low, one low. So this is a little bit harder to show it on the hard time frames, but basically it's valid. So what happens here is that if I open the indicator, you need to search one indicator. It's called market structure shift. Okay. So here what you need is not a break of structure, is a market structure shift. Okay. I will a market structure shift. Okay. MSS, not BOS. Okay. So here, if I'm on the daily, if I open the indicator, you can see that we have a daily market structure shift. So we have an uptrend, we create a range, we have a lower time frame, let's say pullback into the higher time frame uptrend. Okay, this can happen in the 15 minutes or the daily, doesn't matter. And then basically, in theory, okay, you create the market structure shift. Normally, the price is supposed to come to your entry faster, and then your entry is based on fair value gaps or local order blocks. Okay, sometimes the entries you find them in different time frames. I will show you examples. Okay, so as you can see on the chart, it can look like that. Or if you go on the images, um, You can see the first one with SUI. Okay, you have the small red box that you see is basically your low, another low, market structure shift after the good pump. The first condition to have a legit market structure shift, you really want the market structure shift to happen with a nice candle here. Okay, you don't want the candle to stop around here and pull back. Okay, because it gives you less, it should give you less confidence into the long. The market structure shift has to come with a strong candle, and at some point it's coming back to your entry. It's fucking textbook. Okay, so what happens? Okay, so wait for the price to reach a POI. It can be yearly open. Let's say you sweep a previous week high, you reclaim it. Okay, so you are in a bullish momentum or a bullish environment, but you swept the previous week low, let's say, and then you reclaim it. This is a POI. You have the price pulling back into a big fair value gap. This is a POI, okay? Or if you have an SR flip, this is where you should start looking at the price developing, okay? Because if you, for example, look at the model developing in front of you and you're not in a POI, so in a point of interest, uh, either you should lower your targets, either you have lower probabilities to win the trade, basically. Okay, so rule number one, wait for the price to reach a POI. To wait for the price to develop to wait for the price to develop inside the POI, lower low plus MSS. Okay, so here you once you arrive at the POI, okay, let's say it came like maybe it took it arrives at the POI. Let's say this is a big fair value gap, for example. Okay, this is a point of interest. Here, what will happen is basically that. Oops, make it even better. What you want to see. This happens many times inside the day. So all you have to do is go on the 1 minute. And sometimes the chart, as you can see on the images, looks a little bit different, right? It doesn't have to look the same. What you're looking for is like for a good candle to come and create the market structure shift, and then you just wait for a pullback here. So for the time being, for a small amount of time, you have to understand that you are trading inside the 1 minute. Okay, so rule number three, and this is a general rule that I use anyways into my trading strategy. Uh, Set stop loss into the low formed after MSS plus set targets into the closest major FEG high or OB. So as you can see in the images on the chat, I don't, so what's the idea here? You never bet into like that the price will go to create new highs, for example, right? You always set your targets, for example, into a short POI. Even if you are in a bullish, environment, if you're a scalper and you want to use that model, you use it on the 1 minute. So even if the Bitcoin can, let's say on the image here, it can go from 120 to 100 to 200 is not your problem. If you are in a swing long from the bottom, that's another story. Okay, this you can find this kind of price action when you are, for example, on an uptrend and it starts ranging, on the highest time frames, like on a daily candle or on a 4-hour candle. A lot of things can happen. So we are on the 1 minute time frame here, so you should adapt. So you set your targets where you would expect, let's say, a reaction. Okay, set stop loss. Blah 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 blah. Set stop loss into the low. After MSS. So I will take out this one. Up and number 4. Set target into the closest major uh, fair value gap high or order block. Okay, this is something that you are going to use for the bullish, a bullish scenario, for example. Okay, so um, someone is asking me to check XLM, the 3 minutes. So let's go on the 3 minutes. Come on. So let's see where we are heading here. Okay, so as you can see, previous month low swept. Okay, the 3 hours is already swept, 2 hours is swept, 1 hour is swept. Okay, this is interesting. We have absorption. What happens is that we have one, two, maybe the next candle. This is a POI because we took the previous month low. Very good, very good. Okay, and now we go on the 3 minutes. So we do not know, that's the problem. We do not know if the uptrend starts here, okay? This is the problem. But you are in a POI because we checked, we tagged the previous month low. So you have high probabilities to get into a long, okay? So what happens here? Let's say this is an uptrend, right? You create your head. So if I knew I was in an uptrend, I would say, okay, I have my low formed here. For this specific case, it's looking like that. And then maybe, so this is a different adaptation because basically here it didn't hit my entry. Okay, do we have so on the 3 minutes, let's go. I think I'm pretty sure we are having a market structure shift from here. Okay, yes. Okay, so the model, as you can see in the chart, looks like that. So normally here they're generating some liquidity. Okay, and what happens is that maybe they will create a small range, even create a lower time frame AMD here, and distribute the price. Okay, if you remember, I told you that I use it. What will be your, now I don't care about the target. Let's say you long it. Okay, so this low here is protected for a small time being. Normally it gets swept one more time, but you have to trust the model. Okay, first of all, where would you enter here? Okay, so how I do it is like, okay, we are on the 3 minute, I go on the 1 minute to see really what happens on the lowest time frames. Then I go on the check in the 15 minutes, and I like that wick here. Okay, we have a kind of a doji candle. Okay, so don't forget that this happens on the lowest time frames. You will have to trade the model many times in a day. For example, you can fail it like 2 times, and then you get the third time and you end up profitable, basically, if of course you respect the margin that you put into a trade. So here we kind of create a range after sweeping that thing. We know that we are in a selling environment, right? But since we swept previous month low, we pretty much have higher chances into getting into a long. And of course, you have to have the Bitcoin chart next to you because most of the market is in pace with Bitcoin, right? So you have to be sure that Bitcoin also is trading pretty much into a long POI, I would say. So here So we bet around these weeks. Let's see what the fibs are giving to us. Uh, okay. So basically, I will place my entry. Look, since I'm low confident on longs right now, I would honestly, I would look like if you have a strong momentum, you have to go on continuation longs. This is another story. But here, I would like to take an extreme entry. Honestly, I would go for a potential sweep of that flat here, maybe a retest of the previous month low. But if you play the model as it is, basically this low is should be protected, so the stop loss goes just below that, and I will target this here, not the Monday mid, not the previous week low. Since we are in an environment that is selling, my targets are very close. Okay, so if you set realistic targets, what do we have here? Okay, we have a nice 15-minute fair value gap. This should be a short POI, right? So this is where you are going to set your targets. Doesn't matter where it pumps. You are not in the position to pretend that it's going to that up. You have to reclaim the previous week low to get some other things, you know. So, but basically, this is the model. This is a good example. I was using it very often on XLM, and then it became a shitcoin again, like the rest of the market. So basically, it looks like that. Okay. So the model is very useful, but you have to respect the rules, or else you are gonna adapt it. Okay. And I suggest don't go break even on your trades. Either you are right, either you are wrong. That's it. Okay. So here you go. This should be, but you see, one of the rules is not respected because we should pull back after an uptrend. Okay, we are on a downtrend here, like guys. You know that, right? So you can take the trade based on the fact that we sweat previous month low, but this is a low probability trade. So that's why we are going to lower our targets and wait for an entry. I would even say go for an extreme entry into a retest of the previous month low, but you can bet on that. This will be the standard, model, how it looks like. So if you compare the two images, you have four rules, and you have an example. Let's say on I sent you two very good examples on the first images. I sent you the one that looks like the model here that we made together with the four rules, how you set your targets, your stop loss, and then how it looks like on a chart. The problem is that Bitcoin looks like total shit here. Damn. I almost want to reshort that thing. Yeah, that's totally short. Honestly, fucked up. What's sad about Bitcoin is that it came into a major POI, and all we see is like my days. When I'm thinking that people thought it will continue after this liquidation, and they actually kept dumping on everybody, but makes sense at the end of the day, as we explained. You have a low volume here, you might see some acceleration, but you have to be in the trade from here, basically. Damn, that's sad. It's not moving, which is a good thing. It's going up actually. It has a very good reaction on Bitcoin's moves for now. Let's check the RSI heat map. When you have big drops, the RSI heat map is very useful because you're gonna lower. Let's say as soon as you have the drop, You have to look what altcoins are recovering the fastest, basically. You have Kite here. Let's check Kite, how it looks like on the 15 minute, of course. Ah, Kite, there you go. Doesn't give a shit about the market actually. Slow grind consolidation, yeah. Could give you a nice long here, but you know. You made profits, don't touch many things. And on the 5 minutes, truth, blah blah. Pippin is on the strong. Okay, let's see how this long will look. Okay, it's progressing, but okay. So 1 hour. OG. I'm tired of this coin. Bit party. Okay, nothing. Arc. Okay, arc could be a short, but as you can see, you cannot trust this thing. Let's check the other arc. Shitcoin. Okay. Okay, guys. Can we look for shorts here as a short POI? Yes, of course. The only problem is that you are on a discount here. Okay, you are on a buy zone or something. So I would be a little bit, cautious with shorting around these levels. But let's see. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the live. I don't have much to say. All I know is that we are in a long now. If it fails, I will look. I wouldn't be against that, but you know, level by level. Okay. Um, So everything has been explained about the plan. Okay, so I told you that we might get the big impulse from 70K. We need to reclaim that black line to have a real bullish momentum and a bullish structure. But the problem is the moment we get the bullish structure is going to be too late. Or maybe they want to send it to 116, they can do whatever they want. But I think we rejected many times. So looks like by the end of the year we are gonna visit the yearly low here, and then we see what happens. I think we have another short, but I'm just tired of shorting. We made the money today, so yeah, doesn't look very good. Let's see what happens. But if we hold at least these levels, if we can protect that low at least to get at least a bounce or something, so we can go break even. Because oh my days, yeah. Okay. Have a good night, guys. Thank you very much for coming to the live. I hope I do like to give lives like that where I explain a little bit the thought process, because giving a market update every time is like boring, and you will see everybody has an opinion about where the market is going. I think it's not that important because this is a personal perspective based on personal plans. So if I can offer something in my trading live sessions, will be to show you a thought process into a trade, uh, so you can see through my eyes, and maybe teach you some small systems on how you should be go a little bit more in depth into the chart. So when you look at the chart and you see like a lower low being made, you have a market structure shift. At least you have some kind of idea. Oh, okay, maybe we have a model, maybe you have something, and you know how to take actions. Because if you don't know that there is a model that exists that gives you an entry, this is an entry confirmation into an entry, you will never have any idea what to do, about that. So this is what is truly useful, and I think this is where we should be. This should be our main role here, in my opinion. So if I can teach you this kind of stuff, for me is like way more useful. So if you don't have any experience into trading, I don't recommend you to scalp, okay? Because it took me years to learn that. You have to know what you are trading, you have to know who you are dealing with. It's not that easy, okay? But this gives you first ideas. If you have some experience in trading, you can start uh, try stuff like that, but on the lowest time frames you really need to filter as much information as possible in order to starting and execute. Okay, that's it. Okay guys, have a good night and see you soon.